Hey, Vibe owners and prospective buyers of our project called Vibe here in Las Terrenas. I'm Patrick Johnston. I'm the managing broker, co-owner of GoDominicanLife.com, based here in Las Terrenas, but we have representation in offices across the country here in the Dominican Republic. I wanted to give you an overview of a program that we use to analyze the marketplace for the rental game, as we call it. And this will give you a better idea of what we're dealing with, what the market's all about. And look, it's not a secret. The program is called AirDNA, and you can sign up for that yourself if you want. It pulls all the statistics from Airbnb, Booking.com, and VRBO, which are the top three engines for OTAs, online travel agents, as they call them, for a source of revenue for anybody that is in the rental game. So this is a great little program that we can see. Let me walk you through it. So I've already categorized this. We're going to do an overview together. We're going to look at occupancy rates, and we're going to look at actual rates and revenue so you can understand. So remember, Vibe is a 3-bedroom, 5-bath property, residential community, and we planned that based on the lack of inventory in a category that we believe has the greatest opportunity right now. Most condominiums and projects here in Samaná, Las Terrenas, are condominiums, which are 1- and 2-bedroom condominiums with common pool, like a resort style situation. However, there is a shortage of new villas being built that are in an organized revenue source, such as what we've done with Vibe. So the category we've chosen to go into is 3 bedrooms, private villa with a pool. That's what Vibe is. Okay, they're townhomes, but they're private villas with rooftop pool, 3-bedroom, 5-bath. So let's look through it. Okay, so market grade. It tells us here that it's a B on a scale of A to D. It talks about the rental demand, revenue growth, seasonality, which we already know about, but we're going to make all comments to this, and regulations against rentals, depending on what you want to look at. So this is the overview high level. So we see the average daily rate currently is $186 a night for a 3-bedroom minimum with a private pool in a villa. Currently, 44% is occupied, and revenue in the course of a month is around $1,500 a month. So we'll go over that in room nights in a minute. So let's go first to look down here. There's 1,800 active rentals. Most of them, you can see here, are in entire home. That's the category we've chosen. Private rooms or shared rooms, and there are very few of that in the market. You can see here in the rental market, 80% is Airbnb, 80%. So that is, of course, will be your focus. VRBO at 9%. Somehow they don't have Booking.com in here for now, but Booking.com is a very strong player, so it will be stronger than VRBO for sure. But also, Booking.com is mostly hotel revenue, but people list their villas and condos for rent in Booking.com. We can see here by what is in demand, or what the rental market is showing. There's a spike here of over 500 or in 2-bedroom units. There's a shorter amount of 3 bedrooms and an increased amount of 1 bedrooms, but it then drops 4 and 5. Now you may say to yourself, well, there's less demand for 3. Well, this is inventory, okay? We're going to get into the demand of each category as we move forward, but just this is the overview. Rental growth, you can see here for the last couple of years, 2019, before the shit show happened. Here we are, so they peaked. But if you look at the peak at the end of quarter 4 of 2019 and into quarter number 1 and quarter number 2 of 2020, this is when the pandemic started to hit, and you can see that we had a little bit of a downfall. But then domestic tourism for the Dominican nationals, because we were not, as Dominican nationals, not allowed to leave the country by way of, there's just no airfares, no planes were flying, generally speaking. So Dominicans, of the people that have money that are wanting to travel, stayed internally. And you can see in 2020 and 2021, we already continued to go through. And in 2022, you see how we're now above where we were in 2019. in the off season. So that's a very, very good thing to see as a trend. And we're going to watch those trends as we move forward. This is sort of where people come from, vacation rentals, home life management, international homeowners, Russian River vacations. I don't know what that all is about, but these are just property managers that do a lot of business online. These are the statistics or characteristics of a villa that people want to see. Naturally, air conditioning, and unnaturally, heating is not required. Having a washer is important for some people, but not a dryer because that's the sun. Kitchen, parking, look at internet is number one. So highest quality internet is something that we have to feature in our complex. Look at cable TV. Again, who watches cable? Especially as international, when cable locally is in Spanish, you may not understand. So everybody has Netflix and their own version of online streaming, so we don't need that. The high-speed internet is what is key. Having a pool is important for a lot of people, and a hot tub or a cold tub is not as important. All right, so again, these are the ratings that people like to see the most. A good check-in process, having a clean organization, good communication for management to tenants. Location is critical, good value, and accuracy to the description and photos and video. So the overall market is showing about 72% of the properties have these characteristics, which is good. Okay, rental activity. This shows availability versus booked. So 38% of it is booked full time, meaning there are people that are very consistently that way, and then there's room for improvement along the way. Okay, so let's go into occupancy. Okay, so as we pull this up and we go up to the top, I'm going to make sure, okay, it's 3 bedrooms. You see that, right? 3 bedrooms only is what I'm selected. We want to accommodate between 6 and 8 people because we can have 2 people on the couch. It's an entire home, or 6 adults and 2 kids sort of scenario. So we've put that into our characteristics so we can start to see where we fit. So here we are with historical occupancy rates. If you look at, let's see here, in April of 2022, post Semana Santa or Easter, they're roughly 48%. April the fall previous year, 63%. So it looks like we had a dip in, was that 50th? 75th percentile, so 48.26 or 63.30. Had a little dip, but if we look back and say, let's look at February 2022, we were 86% occupied in February. In February of the previous year, we're sitting around 68. You see that? So it's an improvement. Let's look at Christmas time. Where are we here? Yeah, Christmas, 68% occupied, but more occupied for New Year's, which is very common. But if we look at last year, 68 and then 84. So we say December, oh no, 2021, sorry, my mistake. Well, that was December 2021. So compared to the previous year, 52% versus 68, so an improvement. And then New Year's of this year, past New Year's was 84, and last year was 67. So we're on a positive scoop on the go up. Excuse me. In the active listings, you can also see the trend where prior to the pandemic, the inventory was there, but even actually going down. But in the pandemic, like all places in North America, construction was going like this. So you can see the upwards trends of the construction and units coming on board. So we now have 1,657 rentals that are online as of June 2022 versus 1,291. 1,291, so about 400 more rentals, and there's more coming because we're not even there yet, and there's many other projects that are not on stream yet, but it shows that the trend upwards is very strong. Now, the demand growth is keeping. You can see, so we're in April, May, so this is June, We had 11,775 room nights booked for a month in June. So if you look at June the previous year, what do we say here again? Let's call it 12,000 room nights. In June the previous year, roughly the same. Prior to that, the June prior, almost half. But again, that was in the pandemic. Try to go one more past that. That was July of 2019. So a 3-year difference. We had 8,000 3 years ago, prior to the pandemic, and now we're sitting at 12,000 room nights. So 1,114 properties were booked in June of 2022 versus 911. So that's what, a 20%, 25% increase in booked market, which is good. Okay, let's look at rates, because that's where we that's what we want. We want to understand that marketplace. Let's just verify again. I'm going to switch this to 3 bedrooms only, accommodating 6 to 8 people. Entire home, because it can be the categories, but we want entire home. Let's see how that phases out. Okay. All right. So these are current months. So we have $175 per night current month, a private room current month, and shared room. So there's nobody who's doing shared accommodation. No guff if you're in a pandemic who wants to share a room with someone. But that's more of the hostel market, the youth market or young market, early 20s, and they're not back yet. Okay, so we look in here. Let's look at current month. We have an average daily rate of $227 in this time of the year. June of 2021, we were sitting at 204 versus 227. It's a 10% gain in market. The June previous, 176 versus 220. So 176, 220, that's a 30%, 35% upward trend. So that's the key thing for us to look at. Let's look at peak market, 1 month, year over year for the last 3 years. Let's not look at Easter, because Easter's is only a 3-day period. So if we look at February, let's look at January, 268 in January of 2022, January 2021, 243. So we're up. In the previous year, January 2020, 200 again versus 268. So we're moving, trending upwards. All right, and the average daily ADR rate range, again, it will trend, but let's look at the peaks. So somebody was getting $700 a night in April for Easter, and again, that's probably 2 or 3 nights only, and as low as 132. So that's your range in a 3-bedroom. Okay, it ranges all over the board. Like this current month, highest is 457, the lowest is 116. So what's going to happen and how we're going to judge rates is simply by supply and demand, customer service, facilities, location, and amenities within the complex. So as we talk about the owner benefits that we're going to have, and the security system, internet, and a whole bunch of other things. And most importantly, uniqueness, because the product that we're building and that you are buying, thankfully, is something that does not exist here in that style. So when you have a sexy new product with a rooftop pool, and you can put that into your description in the right way with quality photos and video, we will get above average pricing, and that's what we want to do. So we want to head into that 75th percentile of the market, meaning the top 3/4 of the market. So if we look at that top 3/4 in the off season, which is now June and July, 304 average rate. If we go to January, 350 average rate, 306 in March. Look at this. Easter, 406, but let's look at last year, 272 for July, August, 290, etc. All right. Now we want to also look at occupancy, on how many room nights that we can expect to get. Okay, these are your, we're going to put this back to 3 bedrooms. It accommodates up to 6 people, sorry, 8. Okay, we want to look at only the 75th. So rental revenue, we're going to try to achieve, there you go, this is the course of a month, $3,200 in the month of June. The market is penetrating. The lowest, $2,600, but let's go back into the winter months, 43, 43, 42. So if we can do that and say 40 on average, let's pick the average. Let's look at the average from January 2021, 3,500 to the range of a high end 46 to 35. Let's call it 37, 3,800. 3,800 times, as a management team, we will take 30% of the revenue, but that means we can generate $2,660 a month on average, with an average room rate of uh, 15 nights a month, which would bring out around 200 and some odd dollars net a night into the revenue of the pocket of our buyers and our people under contract. Now you're going to have highs and lows. You're going to have 350, 400 in the peak. You'll have 175, 180 in the low, but we're going to blend it out to see a range of 250 to 350, like I've said from the beginning. And that's where the market is trending. These aren't my numbers. These are what the market is stating, and direct access off Airbnb. And that's critical, very critical. All right, let's look at rates. So this is just a range. These are rates as of today. So we're going to put in the market rates. So right now they're showing, what's today's date? Today is the 22nd. So we're looking at, the market's going to show a 36% occupancy so far. Market trend is around 160 in the mid, but we can trend that up and see where it sits. Average daily rate is going to be around $200 in the market. But if we want to, let's go into winter market. December, you see how it's trending up? 210, 210. But again, remember, these are averages. So let's pick any time. This is February. Let's just pick this date, February 8th. You can see that the low is 120 up to 380. Currently, only 6% of the market is booked because that's February 2023. There's 71 units that are booked out of 1,153 units. Now let's look at Easter, because Easter, people in this country go crazy on. I don't remember when Easter is, but we can actually check and see on the pricing. It's probably going to be around this time. No, maybe not. But Easter is something that you could book yourself 400% occupancy if you actually could do it. Anyway, the idea, I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to show to you, is that I'm very analytical to understand numbers. I love to watch the trends. I love to be able to use this program called AirDNA to give us all the historical data that we need, all the future data that we can see. We can see trends. And as a developer, we are building products and for what is in demand and which is not available. And that's critical. Okay? So I'm Patrick Johnston. I'm the owner, co-owner, that is managing broker, GoDominicanLife.com here in Las Terrenas. And we have been reviewing the numbers for Vibe residences, what we're going to do with 3-bedroom, 5-bath, private villas with rooftop pools. We have about 6 or 8 remaining out of our 45 villas that we're building. So if you're interested in taking a look at one of these, jump on our website at vibelasterrenas.com. I'll put it right on the screen, vibelasterrenas.com. Or you can give me a text or a phone call or a video on my WhatsApp number at 829-525-1782. Or even better, please like, subscribe, and share this video as we can help you achieve better results in your rental properties within our management company, because right now we do have the following: real estate sales, property development and residential development, mortgage and financing, short-term rentals and property management, and much more coming soon. So look, let's be your all-in-one circumstance when it comes to real estate. There's nobody else in this country that knows real estate as well as we do. We know what we're doing. We're on track. We're a solid team of 24 people that are dedicated all for you. Let's go. Let's start working together. Okay. Adios.